This is the parable of the blind man, loosely based on the teachings of Jesus about the Pharisees and what it means to be blind. Here is mining prospector Joe. He is on the planet of the Ooshies. He's been to many planets to go mining. On this planet, he met the Ooshies last week and they saved him in his moment of need. And so mining prospector Joe now loves the teaching of Jesus that he should love his neighbour no matter how different they are. So every day as he's on his way to work, he passes the Ooshies and says, "Bless you, my friends, bless you." And they say something back to him, but he never stops to listen because he's racing on to go to work. And what is his job? Mining prospector Joe looks for raw materials that he then takes and he pours into the manufactory. Here's the raw materials going in right now. The manufactory then processes the materials and turns them into the latest model of spacecraft that Myopia Industries is able to produce. Here comes one now, and there it is. And a remarkable thing happens as it comes out. Joe looks at the new product and says, "Wow, I must have it." And something else strange happens. All of a sudden, he no longer cares about what he's got. So he tosses his current spacecraft onto the trash heap, saying, "I guess I'll no longer be needing that." And off it goes. So this happens the next day as well. Mining prospector Joe gathers up the raw materials. They're dropped into the manufactory. There's processing going on. And suddenly out comes the latest spacecraft from Myopia Industries. And Joe has the same reaction. "Wow, I must have it." And so he gets it, and at the same time he's no longer interested in his old spacecraft. So he tosses it away into the trash. Meanwhile, on the way to work every day, the Ooshies keep waving to him and trying to tell him something. But he hasn't got time to listen because he's producing something again. In goes the raw materials. The processing happens. And out comes the latest space vehicle from Myopia Industries. "Ooh, most impressive," says Joe. And he loses interest in his old spacecraft and tosses it on the junk heap. "Guess I'll no longer be needing that." Again, on the way to work the next day, the Ooshies are waving at him and trying to say something, but he has no time. He is a working man, very busy. And so the manufactory is once again filled with raw materials. It processes. And out comes the latest product from Myopia Industries. Oh, it's a space scooter. Oh, wow. And then he says, "I guess I'll no longer be needing this," and tosses his old spacecraft onto the trash heap. He keeps going, and the people from the Ooshies keep trying to wave him down and tell him something, but he has no time. He is a busy working man. And so he pours more materials into the manufactory and processes. And out comes the latest spacecraft from Myopia Industries. "Oh, wow, that is impressive," he said. "Oh, I've got to have that." And so he gets keen to own it, looks at the current spacecraft he has, says, "Guess I'll no longer be needing that," and tosses it on the scrap heap. But now Joe suddenly is noticing something. This planet seems to be full of trash. I wonder where all that came from, he said. Well, I can no longer do any mining here in a place like this. I'm going to have to hop into my spacecraft and then head off to the next planet. As Mining Prospector Joe hops into the spacecraft, he hears the noise of the Ooshies in the background. They're waving and yelling and trying to tell him something. But he has no time for that. He needs to go on to the next planet. As he gets ready for takeoff, he thanks the good Lord that there are so many planets in the galaxy that he can go and do his work in. As he's about to take off, though, he has a horrible thought. Goodness me, just imagine if you only had one planet. What would you do then? But that's not his problem. So he closes the lid and he heads off, comforting himself with the words of Psalm 23, "The Lord is my shepherd." And as for the Ooshies, they too were offering a prayer, but probably Mining Prospector Joe wouldn't have liked it.